Recording in progress. Assalamu alaikum. Hi everyone. Warmly welcome to all of you with another important training session. It's all about relevant to confined space. What is a confined space and how we can recognize a confined space, or how we can identify the hazards and planned, some effective controls against all those hazards, whatever we identified during our GSI, or uh, uh, on the other side, hazard analysis we do as per the permit system as well. So let's discuss in detail, especially as per Saudi Aramco, because mostly people in oil and gas industry, they are day to day dealing with several kind of confined spaces. But in short, let me be more clear that confined space is kind of a place which is not designed for human occupancy. That means have a very limited access and exit, and also several toxic gases could be there, and less oxygen, or maybe H2S, carbon monoxide, several other toxic gases. So let's discuss as per Saudi Aramco, what are the things we surely have to take care. So let me just share Saudi Aramco's screen here, so it will give you an idea what Saudi Aramco is expecting us while working within their territory, how we have to be safe, especially by handling confined spaces as per their guidelines and procedures. Now, even the title kind of a poster is quite straightforward. At confined space, enter work permit only. That without permit, no entry at all. So the terminal objective of this course is that we'll be summarizing and understanding, some of the requirements as per GI 2.100 or 2.709, and the construction safety manual as well. And what are the enabling objectives? Few of the objectives, which I already mentioned, even that we have to be capable how to identify what is a confined space, and how we can identify them, or how we can define and identify a confined space, and what are the requirements of CSE program, and I call it a master plan as well, and how we going to define the requirements to plan and prepare a confined space entry. Or number 4 is identify work hazards and control measures. So let's start with 1.1. How we gonna, like, what is confined space, or what are the confined spaces? So guys, confined space means a large enough to allow workers to enter and perform work. Pretty straightforward. And also have limited or restricted means of entry or exit, and not designed for human occupancy. So it's a purpose-built space, but not built for human occupancy. Like we can't drink there, we can't eat, we can't sleep. So it's a purpose-built, kind of a danger zone, or maybe the red zone or restricted area, we can claim it up. And the reason behind it, because it can contain a lot of, and there is a possibility to contain a lot of hazardous atmosphere, like I mentioned earlier, the H2S, presence of H2S, lack of oxygen, carbon monoxide, and several other toxic gases could be there. And also it can have some recognized serious safety and health hazards. No, what is confined space entry? Because since we have realized it's kind of a danger zone, so what is confined space entry? So it's not like the full body will be entered and then we're going to claim this is a confined space. Any part of the body, entry of any part of the body into a confined space would be considered an entry, and it will be including all periods of time when the confined space is occupied, and most importantly, that is why we have I hope you have some some information about CSE log sheet, and that is why every individual, whoever is going inside as per the plan, like must mention the ID, the name, the time in, time out, and the reason behind he is going inside have to be clearly mentioned on the CSE log sheet. Now, what are the examples of confined spaces? Columns, vessels. These are the examples. Storage tanks. Even you can see in the picture. Quite straightforward. Okay. Now, what can go wrong here actually? Uh, because even though the examples of confined spaces could be the pipelines as well, but the real challenge is to make sure even the wall boxes and because the toxic gases, especially H2S, is approximately 20% heavier than air. So it's quite, the heavy things will definitely lay down into the mostly the grounded areas or the excavated areas, or especially that is why it is claimed deeper than 1.2 meter or 4 feet. Any excavated area or in shape of trenches even have to be considered like a confined space. And so accordingly, we need to put all the measures and identify hazards and make sure nothing will go wrong, inshallah. We're talking about the examples of confined spaces, the manholes. You can look at it in the picture, and one picture is more louder than thousand words. So I hope it's quite straightforward. Ventilation ducts gonna be there, boilers, steam generators, heat exchangers, sewer sumps and pits, barge compartments, and excavation at least 4 feet deep. So all would be considered confined space. And once the excavation is there, plenty of other safety requirements also need to be considered, like shoring, benching, shielding, sloping, just to make sure the walls will not collapse. And if there is a chance of collapsing, still we can save them through some preventive measures, implementing engineering controls or administrative and people's as well. Okay, guys, so I hope you would have a clear idea of what is a confined space, what is confined space entry. So there is a complete exercise A in your workbook, but I will share another YouTube link where you can find exercise A questions and answers, and I hope it will be beneficial for all of you, inshallah. So just a quick snapshot. What is confined space? What is confined space entry? And what are the examples of confined spaces? Three topics we covered, and hope you would have now clear idea how you're gonna describe confined spaces and why we have to be careful. So please subscribe the channel, and if you want to watch further videos related to this topic, because that is just the video number one with the topic what is confined space. I'm just avoiding not to make too lengthy videos because sometimes the audience they don't have sufficient time to watch or learn all these things, but with small time, of course, anybody can manage you. So feel free to contact me. You can note down my WhatsApp number 009665989034339, or you can contact me via email info@best-imtl.org. Thank you very much. Take care of yourself, and soon you'll get another video related to confined space with another topic. So probably I'll make maybe 4 or 5 videos only relevant to confined spaces as per Saudi Aramco requirements, and it will help you to pass work permit receiver or safety officers exam or several others.